ALEX Marquez plots a fierce counterattack to end Marc Marquez's relentless march. Before the Dutch Grand Prix showdown, tension between the Marquez brothers is about to explode. Under the Assen skies, as the 2025 MotoGP season barrels into its critical midpoint, Gresini Racing's ALEX Marquez is quietly hatching a strategy to derail Marc Marquez's unstoppable pursuit of a record-extending 9th world title. The paddock can't stop buzzing. Is this the moment when the younger Marquez finally decides enough is enough? Throughout the first half of the championship, ALEX has emerged as the only credible challenger capable of rattling Marc's dominance. No other rider has consistently been able to shadow the number 93's blistering pace. But despite flashes of brilliance and podium finishes, doubts have persisted. Critics argue that ALEX still hasn't unleashed the ruthless edge required to topple his brother. When it counts most, time and again, ALEX has found himself in promising positions on the front rows, only to let the opportunity slip through his fingers whenever Marc loomed in his mirrors. The question echoes louder with every race: when will ALEX Marquez draw the line and fight fire with fire? For many, the Dutch Grand Prix could be the crucible where that moment finally arrives. Assen, with its flowing high-speed bends and a history of dramatic clashes, may become the stage for a sibling battle destined to redefine their rivalry. "I know I have to find something extra here," ALEX confessed during the pre-race press conference, his expression steely. "We need to try and maintain our performance level, because there is no other way to stay in this fight. We're coming from Mugello with a good result, and I was able to stay close to Marc until the final laps. That result a hard-fought podium kept his title hopes flickering." ALEX currently sits second in the championship standings on 230 points, 40 adrift of Marc's commanding 170. The gap is significant, but in a season this unpredictable, it is far from insurmountable. Yet even ALEX conceded that the Italian Grand Prix left him with no realistic shot. Once Marc broke away in Mugello, it simply wasn't possible. Marc had an extra gear. "No matter how hard I pushed, he was just faster," he admitted with a trace of frustration. But Assen is a different battlefield. The track's abundance of right-hand corners plays to ALEX's strengths and fuels his belief that this could be the weekend he finally reverses the balance of power. "Here, I will work the same way," he declared with quiet determination. "I will work hard to try and close the gap. This is the place to show that I can fight him all the way to the flag." He paused, then doubled down on his intent. "Last week, I didn't have any answers, but this time, I feel it can be different. We can fight." While the younger Marquez sharpened his weapons behind the scenes, the reigning championship leader sounded almost amused by the idea that his closest threat is also the person who shares his last name. "Obviously, my main rival is sitting second in the standings, and that's ALEX," Marc said with a knowing smile, betraying the ease of a man who has been here before. "He is in excellent form. Every time I try to push to the limit, he's always there. He has been incredible this season." Marc's praise was genuine, but it was also layered with the confidence of a champion who has weathered countless challenges. For ALEX, that is the ultimate provocation, a reminder that until he conquers Marc head-to-head, he will always be the younger brother chasing the legend. As the 2025 MotoGP circus braces for the Dutch Showdown, all eyes will be on this volatile family rivalry. Can ALEX Marquez finally ignite a title fight worthy of the history books? Or will Marc once again prove that his reign at the top remains unbreakable, even by his own blood? One thing is sure, the battle lines are drawn, and Assen is ready to witness a duel that could redefine the destiny of both brothers. ALEX Marquez exposes the mental battle behind Michelin tire chaos in Assen and why Marc has the nerve others lack. ALEX Marquez didn't mince words as he explained why tires became the biggest headache of the Dutch Grand Prix weekend. After Friday practice at the TT circuit, Assen descended into frustration and crashes. Michelin faced a storm of criticism from nearly every corner of the paddock, but behind the technical complaints lay a deeper psychological struggle, one that separates contenders from champions. "It was difficult for everyone to even understand what was happening out there," ALEX admitted, his expression tense. "In the first practice session, I couldn't feel the bike or the tires. Everything just felt completely strange. Then, in the afternoon, I crashed on my very first lap. After that, we mounted a different tire, and suddenly everything worked normally." His tone sharpened when pressed further. "I don't even want to talk about the tire problems," he said bluntly. "We already knew it would be tricky here with the medium front. We expected that." The soft tire always worked better on this track. The medium front is only suitable for warming up the bike. It gives you this false sense that everything is under control and then, without warning, it just lets go. It doesn't give you any feedback at all, and that's the worst feeling you can have on a motorcycle. It wasn't the Friday Alex had hoped for. Limited laps meant he couldn't test all the setup combinations he and his Gresini Ducati crew had planned. Yet despite the setbacks, he still managed to qualify second, missing Fabio Quartararo's pole time by only 0.10 seconds. He knew, however, that the actual battle wouldn't just be against the tires or the stopwatch. It would be mental. In the fast corners, it's critical to have a balanced bike, he reflected. And I'm still not 100% there. We're close to finding a solid base. But this place is a unique challenge. In Assen, every rider and every manufacturer are so close together in performance that any tiny detail can become decisive. Marc Marquez suffered not one, but two crashes on Friday, a scenario that would rattle almost any other rider. For Alex, it was a reminder that beating his older brother requires more than pure speed. Asked whether Marc's misfortunes might open the door for him to slash the 40-point deficit in the championship standings over the weekend, Alex didn't hesitate. He smiled, but it was a resigned sort of smile. If this happened to any other rider, I'd say yes, he admitted. But with Marc, no. He's different. He'll go out on Saturday morning and set a new lap record. He's braver than everyone else. He has more nerve. He can completely forget what happened and reconnect with the bike instantly. It was a statement that said as much about mentality as it did about skill. Because for all the talk of tired compounds and race setups, the real contest between Alex and Marc Marquez is in the head as much as in the throttle hand. And in that arena, Marc still sets the standard every other rider including his brother has to measure themselves against.